Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about Joshua Tree National Park. This park is a favorite among a lot of Californians. Joshua Tree National Park is known for its Joshua trees and for its crazy rock formations. Joshua trees aren't actually trees. They're actually part of the agave family. And Native American communities used these trees for many things. For food, for making sandals and baskets, as well as other purposes. The band U2 made an album after them, and the trees in the book The Lorax by Dr. Seuss are rumored to be inspired by these Joshua trees. Joshua Tree National Park is famous for its rock formations. If you look up Joshua Tree rocks on Google, you will get all kinds of people pointing you to all kinds of rocks that look like all kinds of things. And that's one of the big fun things to do in Joshua Tree is to go look for rocks and go hike to rocks and go find rocks. And if you can't find the rocks, you can just make up your own rocks. We have definitely done that as well. So join the fun and come visit Joshua Tree. Joshua Tree has 3 main entrances: the West, the North, and Cottonwood Visitor Center. We have entered both the Cottonwood Visitor Center and the West Side entrance station. In between those 3 entrance stations is where the most popular spots of Joshua Tree are. So now let's talk about all the incredible things that there are to do in Joshua Tree. Right by the southern entrance, the Cottonwood Visitor Center, there is a little tiny 0.1 mile trail where you can go see a mini oasis of palms, and you can see the holes in the rock that were used for cooking by ancient inhabitants. Things you might see driving through the park are big desert landscapes, big forests, I guess you could call them, of Joshua trees, a bunch of crazy named washes, and many rock piles. The Cholla Cactus Garden is a 1/4 mile trail, and it is super easy, and you get to see a lot of cool Cholla cactuses. Arch Rock, which is at the Twin Tanks parking lot, is a 1.4 mile round trip lollipop hike. Split Rock. When you park at the Split Rock picnic area, the Split Rock is right there. If you take the 2.5 mile trail, you will get to see a lot of other rock formations, some with lines of different rock in the big boulders, others that we found looked like an upside down heart or a lizard. One of the most famous ones that you'll see is the Face Rock. And of course, Chris had to pick his nose. If you don't go the right direction, you might miss Face Rock. We started near the Split Rock and took the trail and came out by the parking lot. Skull Rock, it's right off the highway, so you park and you just walk 20 feet and it's right there. You can sometimes see it from the road depending on the angle. But there's also a 1.7 mile hike that you can do there. We chose to have dinner and watch the sunset up by the rock that looked like Snoopy's profile. We stayed the night at Jumbo Rock's campground and made a fire because it was cold. I also did night photography there, as well as we drove away from the campground so that I could get some sunset photography with Joshua trees, as well as night skies with Joshua trees as well. All of those things, absolutely beautiful. And then again in the morning, I woke up early and it was a gorgeous sunrise, tons of pinks, and our tent and our tablecloth and everything that I was wearing was red, so it was a monochromatic, beautiful moment for me to enjoy. Barker Dam is a 1.1 mile loop. It's a very nice hike, and you get to see some water in the desert. This was a place where cattle used to get its water, and as you come out of finishing the loop, close to the end, you'll also pass an area that you can climb up inside and see petroglyphs and take some more fun pictures with rocks. We also visited the Hall of Horrors, and we did not find the Hall of Horrors. The trail seemed to get longer and longer, so we ended up turning back around. But I think we didn't understand it might be inside of the big rock formation. Hidden Valley is a really cool area. Tons of big rock piles, and it says it's about a mile, but I think you can go even further. When we went to that area, we were with a big group and a lot of people were going up and doing rock scrambles. We also had a picnic at that area. The Keys view, a very recommended overlook. You're high up, you can see way out, and it's a really cool view. Some of the other famous rocks that we have not seen yet are Heart Rock, Penguin Rock with the lone juniper tree, which actually is at Jumbo Rock's campground, we just didn't know, and Cap Rock. The best time to go to Joshua Tree is in the winter. It is cold at night, but it is not stinking hot like in the summer, in the daytime. It's actually really nice weather for hiking and doing outdoor activities and rock scrambling and all kinds of things. We have gone in both January and in February, and I highly recommend those times. I have also heard that spring is really nice, and that sometimes the desert can produce some really rare blooms. I've also heard that in the summer, people do die on the trails and it is extremely hot. However, Joshua Tree is a night sky park, so if you just go for the nighttime, you might get an incredible view of stars or the Milky Way and be able to take some cool tree or rock formations. Always check the alerts before you go to the national park. Currently, February 2026, there is an alert on the Cholla Cactus Garden, so if you were trying to go there right now, you would be disappointed because they are doing trail maintenance. Things to keep in mind when packing for Joshua Tree is, again, if you go in the winter, the nights are very cold, so definitely bring heavy coats and warm sleeping bags and pack layers for the daytime. Make sure you pack fuel, food, and water, as there are not many amenities in this park at all. Also keep in mind, if you're coming and any of the weather is going to be like summer, make sure to bring hats, lots of water, electrolytes, sunscreen, sunglasses. Another thing to be aware of in Joshua Tree, navigation can be tricky on trails. It is rocks and sand, so some people do get lost, and you do not want to be getting lost on the trails because you are in the desert. Make sure you bring some form of navigation if you are going to be doing a lot of hiking. Joshua Tree is very famous for their night sky, their sunrises, and their sunsets, and the ability to photograph things in the foreground like trees or rocks with those in the background. Pro tip: if you are entering from the south at the Cottonwood Visitors Center and you need a place to camp, there is BLM outside of the park, south of the park. Check the BLM maps and you might be able to snag a campsite for free. The entrance fee to Joshua Tree National Park is $30. The fee for the Jumbo Rocks campground is $30 a night. I hope you get the chance to go visit Joshua Tree. It's a very fun, funky place, and one of the places that the desert really tells its story. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I will continue to bring you content about really cool places in the United States.